Let's see who's on. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. What's going on? What's going on? Hey, what the? That's kind of crazy. What's up, y'all? What's going on? What's going on? I had to come back real quick, man, and discuss this Panthers stuff real quick, man. We got a lot to talk about. I know I've been gone for a minute, but I definitely wanted to discuss what's going on with the Panthers. So, first of all, let me see if my vocal cords still work. Hold on. Yo, what's going on, everybody, man? The Carolina Panthers are wrecking havoc. If y'all not paying attention, if you haven't been watching free agency like I have, if you have not been watching what Dan Morgan has been doing for the last like 2 or 3 years, you tripping. So there's a few things I want to discuss. First of all, I got to give a round of applause to Dan Morgan. Dan Morgan has changed the Panthers from that Scott Fitterer trash and I like Martin. Martin Henry wasn't that bad. He had some ups and downs, but overall, Scott Fitterer was garbage. Dave Gettleman wasn't great. I think Dan Morgan's the best GM we had probably ever, to be honest with you. He's been doing an amazing job. Shout out to Anton P. Shout out to Justin Quick, 1482. You know what I'm saying? What's going on, y'all? But yeah, the first thing I want to discuss is, I think this free agency, we dominated. Get in Jalen Phillips, get in Devin Lloyd, get in Rasheed Walker on a 1-year deal to, obviously help out Ike Ekwonu and, sub him while he's gone. Getting John Michie III in his, relationship with Bryce Young. Getting A.J. Dillon. They just got A.J. Dillon. I seen they just signed him. Dan Morgan has not stopped working since free agency. Before free agency. Since the tampering period. He's been making great moves everywhere. So, I think this draft is going to be a best player available draft because we don't really have any weaknesses. I think our only weakness is free safety because Nick Scott is trash. But other than that, I think we're good on receiver. I think our tight end room is pretty good. I know people want us to get Kenyon Sadiq. I've seen that a lot recently. But I'm not going to lie. I'm okay with our tight ends. You know what I'm saying? I think Jatavian Sanders hasn't had that much of an opportunity. I think Tommy Tremble is a great blocking tight end and can make plays. I think Mitchell Evans is a nice pickup. You know what I'm saying? And I think within time he'll be a better tight end. So there's a lot of things that we can do in this draft. I think Dan Morgan set us up perfectly. I wouldn't mind trading back, to be honest with you, because we have a lot of talent. I don't think we're bereft. And this year is very pivotal for us. This year is very pivotal with us. Because I think this year we're going to get a lot of questions answered. Is Bryce Young the future? That's the first question and the most important question. If Bryce Young plays well this year, he's the future. If he doesn't, then we got bigger problems. Xavier Legette, what is his trajectory? Because I hear he's going down to trade with Ocho Cinco, you know what I'm saying, in Florida somewhere. Maybe I'll run into the boy, whatever. But is he gonna like? Okay, it doesn't look like he's gonna be the number 1 receiver. Doesn't look like he's gonna be the number 2 receiver. But can he be a functioning number 3 receiver on our team? That is the question. Or is it a situation where you trade him? I like Xavier. I think Xavier is a great player. Well, he has the potential to be a great player. I think the scheme and the fit for him is not what suits him. I think he's a long ball, receiver. I think he's not really a great route runner. I think what Bryce Young does best is his biggest weakness. He's not a great route runner. And because of that, he's not going to get open with routes. He's going to just basically out-physical you or outrun you. That's it. That's basically all he got. And Bryce Young has not seemed great at the deep ball. So for me, it's kind of like they don't really match up well. So that's why I think this year is pivotal because it's 3rd year for Xavier Legette. So we're going to have to make a decision on him. It's 4th year for Bryce Young. We're going to have to make a decision on him. What's going on, B. Amos? What's going on? Iggy Quano's contract's coming up soon. We got to make a decision on him. There's a lot of young pieces that we got to make a decision on real soon. So this is a pretty big year for us because by the end of the year, depending on our, we got a murderer's row of the schedule. Our schedule is hard. So this is, but I know they're not willing to take a step back. We went to the playoffs. They're going to expect to go to the playoffs again. But we're playing the Ravens. We're playing the Bengals. Who else we're playing? Let me see. Yeah, we're playing the Packers, the Eagles, the Vikings, the Browns, the Steelers, the Ravens, the Bears, the Bengals, the Seahawks, the Broncos, the Lions. This is a tough schedule. What's going on? So this schedule is very tough. This is I ain't gonna lie, this is a tough schedule. It's a tough schedule. So we're really gonna find out what our team is made of this year because I think our defense is gonna be top tier, but our offense better come and play because it's gonna be a shootout with the Bengals. That's a fact. It's gonna be a shootout with the Bengals. The Seahawks, obviously, they just won the Super Bowl. You got the Broncos, another good defense. You got the Ravens with Trey Henderson. You got the Bears, Caleb Williams in them. You got the Lions. They're going to try to make a comeback because they missed the playoffs last year. You know what I'm saying? So, you got the Packers. I know they want revenge what we did to them in Lambeau this year. So, I know they want revenge. You got the Steelers. I think the Steelers are going to be kind of trash. I ain't going to lie. I think Steelers ain't going to be great. It is what it is. Shador Sanders, we'll see what he's made of. And then you got the Eagles, man. I think this is a tough schedule. But this is where Bryce Young and the Carolina Panthers put up a shutout. Because we can't get the last place schedule every year. This is where we see what we really made of. And it's going to expose a lot of things for the Panthers. So, like I said, I think this offseason went great. I hope the draft goes great. Me personally, I would love to get a Daniel, what's his name? Daniel Thiemann. Hopefully he's there at 19. Or what's that? I think there's another guy, Emmanuel something. McClendon? I think his name. The other safety from Toledo. I would love to get one of those guys because Nick Scott is trash. And if we can shore up that position, our secondary will be one of the best secondaries in the league. Our secondary will be one of the best secondaries in the league. If we got J.C. Horn, Mike Jack, Emmanuel, whatever his name is, and this guy name. I'm looking at his name. Oh, the strong safety. I can't remember his name now. But yeah, I think we'll have one of the best secondaries in the league. So I really think either that or going to D tackle. What do y'all think? Y'all think we should go offense or defense in the draft? Y'all think we need another receiver, a tight end? What y'all thinking? Because I want to know what the pulse of the Panthers are. Like, Panther fans, I want to know what y'all think. Because I know what I believe, but I want to know what the Panther fans think. You know what I'm saying? Because the fact of the matter is, I don't know if y'all seeing the same things I'm seeing. So, I don't know. Maybe we could go left tackle. I see a lot of Caleb Proctor drafts. I know we gotta do something with Taylor Moton soon, so that's gonna be interesting. I don't know. But I do like that we're set up for best player available. I definitely like that. I think that's. I don't want us to have to reach for anything. I wouldn't even mind trading back. So that's what my thoughts is about that. And do y'all think Xavier Legette is a bust? Do you think his time in Carolina is numbered? Because from the sentiment I'm getting, Panther fans are done with him. What do y'all think about that? Is Bryce Young the future? That's another question I have. Thank you, McNeil. Yeah, that's another question I have. Is Bryce Young the future? Do you think Bryce Young, because again, last year was up and down, but towards the end of the year he started playing better. But do we think Bryce Young's gonna be the guy long term? Because the fact of the matter is, this is a pivotal point in the Panthers' Super Bowl run. I'm telling you, if we go 11-6, 12-5 this year, I think we're going to the Super Bowl. Because, like I said, I'm thinking a lot of people want to go best player available. I think so too. I think best player available would be the best situation. But I'm trying to think who would be the best player at 19. Defensive tackle. See, I wouldn't mind defensive tackle either. Because I think if you put, let's say, Peter Woods with Derek Brown, now that pass rush is crazy. But my question, okay, so let me ask y'all another question. Do y'all think Lathan Ransom could be a free safety? Because he did get who he picked off last year? He picked off Baker Mayfield. He picked off Baker Mayfield, you know what I'm saying, against Tampa to seal the game. Do y'all think Lathan Ransom can play free safety? Because if that's the case, then we don't have to go safety. We can go D tackle or we can go left tackle. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Like I said, I think give me his skill set. He's a good receiver for him. Dang, that's crazy. I think we should trade him then. If Xavier Legette is a receiver 4, if y'all think he's that bad, you might as well trade him. Trade him now and get what you can get for him. That's how I truly feel. Because you got to think about it. The 4th receiver, like, basically never gets on the field. Think about that. Like, you got, usually go 3 wide and a tight end. Especially if they want to really run the ball, that 4th receiver is never going to get on the field. What's going on? But yeah, that 4th receiver ain't never going to get on the field. You might want to trade him to the San Francisco 49ers, who I think would definitely take him, because remember they wanted to draft him when he was coming out. Trade him to the 49ers for like maybe a second. You know what I'm saying? And recoup what you can get for him. That's what I would do. Like, I like Xavier. a lot. I think he'll be a good receiver in the right system, but that's what I don't understand. They got a project receiver that they knew was a project and knew they need to develop him. And I feel like they didn't really have a plan to develop him. You know what I'm saying? So if that's the case, get him off the team, man. Get the draft picks. Okay. Peter Woods is not worth 19? Okay. I see that. I haven't watched that much Clemson games. Here's the question, right? Because, well, there's rumor we might be into TJ Parker before we got Jalen Phillips. So, but is it the fact that all the Clemson players kind of like gave up in the middle of the season? Because that was the narrative. A lot of Clemson players kind of checked out in the middle of the season. That's why the season was so bad. So who knows? Would you rather Caleb Banks? Caleb Banks. Who else? What's another D tackle that's available? Or would you want like a left tackle like Caleb Proctor? Or do y'all want to get? And here's another thing. I think we should get Jacob Rodriguez in the second and third round. I am a big proponent for Jacob Rodriguez. Now I know a lot of Panther fans feel the same way. I love the Devin Lloyd pickup, but I feel like the Jacob Rodriguez will be a John Beeson, Luke Kuechly situation. Y'all remember we drafted Luke Kuechly to be an outside linebacker. We had John Beeson. Luke Kuechly was so good, he became the middle linebacker because of how good he was. That might be the same situation with Devin Lloyd and Jacob Rodriguez. You know what I'm saying? Because from all accounts, this man is a linebacking savant. I agree. XL is a good situational receiver, but that's the thing, right? You can find that in the later rounds. You can get another, okay, let me ask you a question. Would you trade Xavier Leggett for Brian Thomas Jr.? Because I heard the Jags might be trying to get off him. I feel like it'll be a crowded receiver room again after the draft. That's what I'm saying. Do you think it'll be smarter to trade Xavier Leggett and get a Brian Thomas Jr.? He's a more complete receiver. You know what I'm saying? He's more of a complete receiver. So if you know what I'm saying? Or, I don't know. Who's another receiver you can get? I mean, if that's the case, and I'm not a big proponent for drafting a receiver in the first round because that'll be 3 years that we spend a first round receiver. Think about that. That's crazy. 3 years straight, we spent a first round pick on a receiver. Oh, Kaden McDonald, nose tackle from OSU. That'll be a nice pickup. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I think a receiver position, especially because we got Jalen Coker, who's undrafted. Nobody's seen him come in, and it kind of made up for the Xavier Leggett fumble because they were in the same draft. One was drafted in the first round, one was undrafted, and now the undrafted one is balling out, and the first rounder seems like, he's struggling. So, like I said, I wouldn't want to go receiver again. He has two bona fide top tier receivers. I think Jalen Coker is a star. I think T-Mac is a star. I just think that if Xavier ain't it, we might as well trade the boy. Trade him. Who's the team that receiver? Trade him to CJ Stroud. You know what I'm saying? We just took John Michie from him or whatever. Trade him to CJ Stroud or I don't know. But I like Xavier. I think Xavier's a good guy. I just think that the talents don't fit. But that's what I'm saying. If that's the case, why not trade him XL for Brian Thomas Jr. and a 4th round pick or a 5th round pick? They're trying to get off him anyways. So, wouldn't that be a win-win? So I don't know, man. What grade would y'all give this offseason? I think Pro Football Focus gave us an A-. You know what I'm saying? I think Pro Football Focus gave us an A-. I'm definitely giving us an A. I think this offseason was amazing. So, but again, I just wanted to check in with y'all, man. See how y'all was doing. You know what I'm saying? I know I've been gone for a minute. I'm going to do more of these check-ins, random pop-ups. You know what I'm saying? Especially when football season starts up, I'm going to try to stream more often. Definitely for the football games and all that. I might stream the draft. That might be something, but that's going to be pretty long, though. But I might stream the draft, see how that works out. But I want to definitely talk to y'all about the Panthers and seeing how y'all feel about it. Get the temperature of the people because, like I said, for me, I'm thinking I'm thinking Dan Morgan is cooking. I'm thinking Dan Morgan is probably the best general manager we had ever. And this might be the most well-rounded team that we had in years. We have good receivers. We have a very good O-line. Robert Hunt, Damian Lewis, Taylor Moton. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, Luke Fortner and Rasheed Walker. We got a good defense. I think Ejiro Evero was horrible. So, as great as many good pieces that we have, I think Ejiro Evero is trash. He's garbage, but it seems like they tied to him long term. But that boy's horrible. He's god awful. So, but again, we got to work with what we got. So, we'll see how that plays out, man. But yeah, I just want to check in with y'all, man, see how y'all's doing. And be on the lookout for more, obviously. Like I said, I'm going to do more of these, whatever, man. And like I said, I would give our offseason an A. I think we did a great job. I think Dan Morgan's doing a great job. I think Brant Tillis is probably going to get stolen away from us. That's going to suck. That's going to suck. I think teams are looking at Brant Tillis and be like, boy, they can't wait. Because the tricks he's been doing with his freaking, with the cap is crazy. Getting all these guys to sign small deals. Devin Lloyd didn't get paid what he wanted to get. Rasheed Walker didn't get paid what he wanted to get. All these guys are definitely not, you know what I'm saying, getting paid what they thought they would. So, I think Brant Tillis is going to be gone soon, y'all. So, just be prepared for that. But I'm going to holler at y'all, man. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for, checking up on the boy. And again, like I said, I'm going to do a lot more of these. If y'all see Tab, tell Tab, check in, man, because I haven't talked to her in a while. And again, I'm going to see y'all later. Peace.